Hello, Sagittarius. I hope that you guys are doing awesome. So, for late October, we have a lot of things going on. I think for you guys, you are cutting out some self sabotaging behaviors. I think there's a big focus on spending some time alone. There may be a big focus on mental health as well. For some of you, a partner or maybe your astrologer or a therapist could be a little under the weather as well. I'm getting something like that. There can be an increase in regards to a partner's finances, or there can be some kind of help that's coming from somebody else. Or, maybe you get like a big loan, or maybe you're able to finally pay something off. I can see that as well. I think that you guys are becoming more powerful in the way that in the way that you can. There's a lot that is transforming in that regard. So I think that is ultimately positive as well. Again, I think that there's a lot of healing, mental health focus, and time alone that you may be focused on. So without further ado, before we go ahead and get started, I want to introduce myself. If you're new here, hi, my name is Violetta Alexis. I've been a tarot reader for 5 years. Not new here. Well, welcome back. Obviously, I'm happy to have you. You already know what it is. So let's go ahead and get right into the reading. Show me Sagittarius for late October 2025, please. All right. First card we have the World Reverse. So there's definitely some unfinished business, something that you're maybe either A, needing to be more mature about, or maybe it's something that you need to finish. Maybe you need to finish your book, maybe something else, whatever the case. The Knight of Cups reverse. I would be careful of any kind of jealousy or manipulation. That can definitely be firing during this time. So just a word of caution. Maybe that's you. I don't know. Be cautious. And then we have your Major Arcana. Love this. So showing up in your higher vibration. So that doesn't really make me feel like that Knight of Cups reversed is you. That makes me feel like maybe that's somebody else. Maybe you just don't want to take action in regards to love. It just really depends. For the middle row, we have the Hierophant reverse. You may be trying to break free of something. There may be something that's not really aligning with like who you are on a fundamental level. So what your beliefs are, your spiritual views, whatever. We have the Strength card here. So a lot of confidence in who you are and what you want. So I'm not mad about that either. Ten of Cups reversed. You can feel like you don't have a lot of support from somebody right now, or maybe it's you that's not really supporting another person. Maybe you have your reasons. I have no idea. For others of you, it could just be that you're really not focused on love. Then we have the Queen of Wands showing up. So I just feel like this is you. I mean, showing up, showing out, showing your ass, not literally, hopefully. But this is you just taking the lead in your own life and owning who you are at the core of it. The Ten of Wands reversed, well, that can either represent you're biting off more than you can chew, or it almost feels like you're letting go of something. You're like, I don't need to make that my burden anymore, or I don't need to make that my issue anymore. It feels like you're letting go. Okay, now I'm hearing that's not my problem or that's not my responsibility. Well, that definitely sounds like you. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. So, I mean, you're keeping the balls in the air, despite things maybe being a little busy or whatever, you're keeping the balls in the air, is basically what it is. For the first row, we have you're very close to achieving your goal. So we saw this world reverse, right? Which is like some kind of unfinished business. It says that with a little bit of patience and some maturity, you can really achieve what it is that you're setting out to achieve. I would definitely, again, I'm getting something about needing to rely on like maybe a friend or an audience if you have an audience or something like that. Okay. For the second row, we have Neptune. Well, we saw something in the first row about illusions. So you may be like, for instance, right? Let's see, say with that Hierophant reverse and Neptune, the Hierophant could be like a religious figure. Let's say that, I don't know, you were a Christian or something like that. And then maybe you're realizing, like, oh, this isn't like Christianity. I'm actually in a cult, or like you're maybe like realizing something that you've been taught or mentored about. You're like, I don't know if that's really for me, or you could also feel like somebody has been trying to intentionally steer you in the wrong direction. So I don't know what that's about. I don't even know why I'm getting that. Really weird. We have Sky of Clarity. Soar into the boundless sky of clarity where insights are as infinite as the azure expanses. Okay. Well, I think that once you weed out whatever this Neptunian energy is, where you feel like somebody is trying to steer you in the wrong direction, and then you kind of finally have that clarity, that's when that Queen of Wands comes about. It's like, F yes, I am so over it. I'm letting go of that. That is not my responsibility anymore, once again. So I feel like once you seek the clarity is when you kind of embody that Queen energy, okay, which can be really positive for you, especially if you're trying to get shit done. Okay. So let's take a look at that world reversed. The Six of Swords. I'm getting unresolved issues. I'm getting kind of like a cleanup on aisle 5 vibe here. we are going to have Mercury going through Scorpio. We have Mercury going through Scorpio, and then it's going to go retrograde. So it's going to go retrograde from your sign back into Scorpio. So I definitely feel like there may be a reevaluation, maybe in regards to partnerships, something that maybe you're needing to say. It feels like there's some level of resolve, but I feel like this is going to happen after the Mercury retrograde, like once it's done in November. But it feels like there's something that's kind of been hanging over your head that you're like, okay, either I just need to move on from this, I need to complete it, or I need to just resolve it. And it feels like you're either moving on or you're resolving it. So it feels more like moving on. It's almost like you're kind of letting something, you're just letting something die, kind of, is what it feels like to me. Then we have the Knight of Cups reverse. I feel like some of you guys are avoiding someone, okay? And this can be somebody who is full of it. This can be like a jealous friend. This can be a jealous partner. Maybe it's you, okay? Maybe you're avoiding people that kind of put you in that energy. If that is the case, if this is your energy and you're trying to avoid situations that don't make you feel like that, like I know that I try to avoid love because I just don't want to sit here and worry about somebody cheating on me every day. Like I am a Venus Scorpio baby. I can't do it. Okay, that looks like a little unbecoming. All right. But it doesn't mean I can avoid relationships forever. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to have people in my life. Like betrayals are going to happen, etc. So it's just about being able to mature instead of just being like, oh well, I don't want to deal with that anymore, so I'm just going to avoid relationships altogether. It's about kind of like working through that instead of avoiding it and being able to become a stronger person. I know nobody wants to have to be a stronger person. Unfortunately, that's just the way life is, right? So something to kind of think about. For others of you, nah, I just feel like you're avoiding someone. Okay, like someone specifically. Then we have the Temperance card here. The Six of Wands reverse. Like you're at peace with people not knowing, and I'm getting something like, how everybody wants to share their life on social media. Like, oh, if we go out and have a plate of nachos, we got to share it, right? We go to a party, like we have to share it with everybody. I feel like you're okay with just not doing that. Like you're okay with just living your life. You're becoming more confident and just not feeling like you need some kind of external validation or external approval. Like, yeah, no, I'm at peace with just like being me, because the temperance is you. So it makes me feel like you're thinking more higher minded in regards to things. And I think that there's a lot that's transforming in regards to you and your emotions and the way that you feel about things. And maybe even the relationship that you have or had with your mother figure or whatever. And your ruler, Jupiter, is in Cancer, and so that's good for you, right? It's just like I'm Venus ruled, and so when Venus is in Taurus, in its domicile in her home sign, I tend to be a little bit more confident. Your ruler is in its exaltation, so I feel like there's a lot that's going to transform, maybe about your career, your body, but it's in the best way, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment, even if it feels like a crisis or it feels like you're being, dragged through the trenches. I do feel like it's for the better ultimately. You're very close to achieving your goal. Temperance, all about you, baby. This is all about you. Okay, I'm getting for some of you, you actually are going to be in the public eye, even though it's like you either don't want it or you like stop sharing stuff on social media or you stop like, you just were, you were started living your life, like living your life, and that's kind of what I'm getting for this. But I love that your card is on the major arcana, is on the oracle card. That's a good omen to me. So good for you. Let's see the second row with Neptune. Tell me about that Hierophant. The Emperor. You don't want to abide by somebody's rules anymore, is what it feels. It feels like you're breaking free from some kind of construct. You're like, this isn't for me anymore. Like, for instance, let's say that you are not a holiday person, but every year your parents always got a tree, and we had to go out and sing Christmas carols to the neighbors, and we had to do all that stuff, and you absolutely hated it, right? So you're a little bit like the Grinch. You're a little bit like me. Okay. And then once you got your own place, right, and you like grew up and you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. I don't have to do that. That's not how I'm going to run my ship, and it's like sometimes you have to dissolve those old structures because they're just not for you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's about Christmas. Okay. It can be about whatever it is that's going on in your life, but that's kind of what I'm feeling for that session. We have the strength and we have this star. Ooh, you're very confident in what you can achieve, I think. Uh, I'm getting something about October 25th. I don't know why I'm hearing that. Something about October 25th. Okay, I don't know. Maybe something's going to happen in regards to that on October 25th. But you're pretty confident in what you can achieve. And I again, but it's like a quiet confidence. It's not like this. Uh, oh, I need to show everybody. I need to get this validation. No, it's nothing like that. It's like cool, calm, collected, quiet confidence about you, what you can achieve. And there's a lot of healing going on as well, which is okay. I'm getting something about working out. Some of you are taking walks or getting back in the gym or doing weightlifting. Not sure why I'm getting that. But again, I think there's also like this confidence because you feel so supported by people. Aquarius can be about like groups or friends like that. And so I think that because you guys are receiving all of this support, even though you weren't like hungry for it or you weren't like chasing after the validation, it's almost once you kind of like let go of this need to be validated, that's when it came in. That's what it kind of feels like for me. So there's like this transcendence, especially with this Neptune card. Tell me about that 10 of Cups reversed. Whoa. Keep hearing October 25th. Do you remember we had this world reversed? You're like, yep, no, not even gonna try to have closure, not even gonna try to like make this a thing or whatever. Um, it's happening. It's happening. Like something isn't working out in regards to family or a relationship, and you're like, it's okay. Like it doesn't have to work out. Like we don't have to. You know what I mean? And it sounds shady or it sounds maybe a little sad, but it's not. Like there's something about it that you feel very much at peace around. You're not like I don't think that you're crying yourself into your pillow every night. You're just like, you know what? This family relationship just isn't going to work out and that's okay. Like I think that we're just done here, or maybe it's a relationship whatever, or even if it's you feel like you were not supported, like maybe you're really supported by like TikTok, or maybe you have a big following on TikTok, or let's say something like that. Okay. Maybe you have a big following on TikTok, but like your parents support what you do. And you're like, that's okay. I'm okay with that. Or maybe it's that uh, your boss is on your side at work and like really supporting what you're doing, right? Or like your higher ups or whatever, but like maybe there are your coworkers, maybe they're a little jealous or something like that. And so maybe they're not happy for you and they're trying to get you to second guess yourself or whatever. And you're like, I'm just okay with not having your support, right? It's like it's something like that. So let's see that Neptune energy, the Ace of Wands. Ooh, spiritual independence. You're inspired by creativity, I think. Some of you are very inspired by creativity, meditation. Neptune can be like videography, writing, poetry, acting. It can be stuff like that, stuff with film as well. Maybe you guys are inspired by some kind of film that you see, or maybe asking you to focus more on creativity and spiritual matters in order to be more inspired and to find some level of inspiration and guidance and independence is kind of what I'm getting. There's something about independence here. Okay. So let's see this third row, shall we? Let's see that Queen of Wands. The Chariot reverse. I'm getting that vision of like, in those movies when like you see somebody and they blow something up, right? And like you see it blowing up behind them, like maybe it's a pile of cars or something, and they like slow walk towards the camera, right? And like shit is like burning down behind them. That's what it feels like. You're like, oh well, you lit the match. It was like so Sagittarius, but it's like, okay, you lit the match and like you seem to be pretty confident. Regardless if something didn't work out or some kind of past failure, maybe it almost feels like things are like burning alive around you and you're like thriving. That's what it feels. It's like, I don't know, maybe you go to a family reunion or a family get together and everyone like secretly hates each other and everybody's mad at each other and whatever, and you're like having the fucking life because you have separated yourself from like needing that validation or whatever, and you're just like, I'm good. That's kind of what I'm getting with that. So it's definitely not the worst combo of cards in the world. Then we have the Ten of Wands reverse. Yeah, you're letting go of heartbreak, I think. I think that's what it is. You're like letting go of the pain. You're like, I don't want to carry this anymore. It doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. Like, I definitely think there's something here that hurts. I'm going to pull an extra one. Two of Wands reverse. Ooh, you may have a little bit of a trip up this month where you like second guess yourself, or second guess something, and it can be because of some kind of pain. For some of you, it's physical pain. Okay, if that's the case, then just go to the doctor. But for a lot of you, you bit off a little bit more than you could chew, maybe emotionally at some point. And you could be getting to this, you're like, I have to break free from this. Like, I have to move on and do this. So you could be doing things like, I don't know, I'm getting this like vision of somebody like clearing out their ex's stuff from their room, or like removing old photos that just don't have a place in their life anymore, or something like that. So like some clearing out of your space could be good for you guys. Okay. And we have the Two of Pentacles with the Eight of Wands. Wow. Some of you are making plans. You guys could be making plans to travel. Okay. I could see that. There could be a conversation that comes up around money. I feel like it's very progressive, and I feel like um, it is, what is it called? There's progress. Like there's progress being made in regards to some kind of financial thing. So this could be like you budgeting, uh, you figuring out maybe some subscriptions that you need to drop or whatever. It's like you're keeping the balls in the air. I want to get one more for that. Cups reverse. I'm almost getting like the Three of Pentacles reverse, like somebody not being on the same page with you in regards to some kind of plan that you're trying to make. Whoever this King of Cups reverse is, he seems to be very like defiant, and he seems to be very like in his feelings about something. This could be a father, this could be a partner. It's like you're trying to like make moves or go forth, and like this person is being really immature about it or something like that. I would say just keep doing you. Let's see what the guidance is. The Knight of Wands reverse. So you may kind of lack direction in regards to creativity, or just in regards to something that you're wanting to pursue. So I think that for you, it can be asking you to like go outside and like take a walk. I know that sometimes like when I'm writing a story, or when I'm writing my stories or whatever, or, um, you know, I sometimes get really like, I don't know, overwhelmed. And so I just need to like go outside and like clear my head. And that really helps. So I think that for a lot of you, if you feel maybe like you're lacking direction in some way, shape, or form, direct yourself outside. Like go outside, take a walk, and kind of clear your space, clear the air, or clear your head, excuse me, and kind of be out in nature. Okay. But all in all, I think it's really good. I think that you just need to own your own power. And I think that you are, you're avoiding situations that are foggy, that really aren't giving you any clarity, that aren't really giving you any. So what you're doing is you're creating peace for yourself. I really like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at www.violettaalexis.com. If you would like to book a scheduled session with me, or text and or call spontaneously, you can do so at hipsy.com/violettaalexis. All of that information can be found in the description box below, or in the pinned comment in the chat. Thanks a lot, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great mid-October.